Okay, so for CPF Life, should you go for the standard or the basic plan? By default, you will be on the standard plan. But then, because interest is pulled, would you want to go for the basic plan instead? Okay, so basically this video, we're going to go through all three plans, a good overview, and then we're going to explain how interest is pulled, and also something super interesting is how CPF board actually does it back end. And then we're going to talk about how the basic plan is different, and also how the different plans, under what circumstances should you choose the different plans, when is it advantageous for you or not advantageous for you. Okay, so we start with the standard plan. Standard plan is the most straightforward. Number one, it is level payouts, meaning straight through. There's no increase, no decrease, no nothing. And then number two, it is the highest of all three. So if we do like a graph like this, so this is your age, and then this is your monthly payout. Your standard payout will basically just look like this, all the way. So for somebody who is 55 this year, who has fulfilled the full retirement sum of 220,400, they can expect about 1,007 per month, starting from age 65. So let's say 1,007, we use this as a benchmark. This is your standard plan. So all the way until this person passes on, it will be 1,007 per month. Then the escalating is slightly different in two ways. Number one, it is not straight through. And then number two, it will start lower than the standard plan payout. Actually 20% lower. So your escalating plan will actually look something like this. So this is your escalating. And then it will increase every single year by 2%. So 2% increment in your escalating plan monthly payouts every single year. So since this one, it will start at about 20% lower for the same profile. Starting at 1,007 for standard, you can expect about 1,340 estimated for the escalating. Okay, then for this, there are two important timestamps. Number one is when will the payouts from the escalating catch up to the standard, meaning this point. So it's about 12 years later. So probably on the 13th year, which is when you are about 77. So 12 years later, when you are 77, this will become 1,700 on the escalating plan. Then of course, since it will continue to increase, you can expect higher payouts from the escalating plan from 77 onwards. Then the other timestamp is what about the total payouts? Because since the standard has been paying out much higher, then it will take a longer time for the total accumulated payouts from the escalating plan to catch up with the standard plan. This one will take another about 10 to 11 years from age 77. So you can expect it at around maybe 88 years old. So at 88 years old, the area under the graph basically, from the escalating plan, the total payouts from here will kind of break even with the total payouts of the standard plan here. So comparing escalating and standard, now definitely the more common one will be the standard. Yeah, maybe it's because the break-even ages are a bit higher and then our life expectancy is around here right now. So maybe when our life expectancy increases, we may see the escalating becoming more popular. But right now, it's really more people on the standard plan. Okay, then now we go into the interest pulling, the interesting part. So this one, basically, this is the rule. All interest earned in your RA up to the point when you start CPF Life payouts is yours. It's yours to keep. Then all of the interest earned after you start CPF Life payouts is no longer yours. It will be pulled. So that's the rule. Okay, very easy. So basically, if let's say you're 55, so same profile, you're 55 this year, 2026 with the full retirement sum, 220,400, we will base on this. So we will use this as a benchmark. So actually based on this, by the time you are 65, about 10 years later, you will have about 315K in your RA at age 65. So let's say with this amount, you start your CPF Life payouts. So then what will happen? So let's say you're gonna get 1,007 every single month, right, on the standard plan. So this guy, for instance, he will just continue living his life and get 1,007 every single month. So this 1,007 payout to him every month. At the same time, there will be interest earned on this, right? As CPF board is drawing down from this to pay you 1,007, this 315K and whatever amount remaining in here is gonna earn interest. So this interest will already start to be pulled. So it's simultaneous. While you are getting payouts, all the interest will already be pulled. So it looks like this. For instance, this is the pool. The interest will just keep going into the pool over here. Okay, then what happens? So basically, at some point in time, all of the 1,007 will pay out, it will already add up, and they will use up the 315K that this guy started with. Then from that point on, then CPF Vault will start paying him 1,007 from this pool instead. So it will look like this. And this will last for as long as this guy is alive. So if he stays alive at the 100, 110, 120, 120 years old, he will still continue to get 1,007 every single month from CPF Vault based on this CPF Life plan. Now, the next question, what if this person passes on? If he's no longer alive? Then it really depends on which year did he pass on, when did he pass on. So the thing to note is 315K is his, 100% his. So whichever amount that you started CPF Life on is yours. If you started with 200K, then 200K is yours. 300K, then 300K is yours. Nothing more, nothing less. So for instance, if this guy passed on at this point, whereby after getting like 1,007 payouts and everything, he has used up 200K, for instance. So there is 115K remaining, right? From this, used up 200, 115K remaining. This 115K goes to the family. Okay, then if, let's say, this guy passed on somewhere here, whereby he already used up this entire 315K, a total of more than 315,000 was paid out to him. In that case, his family doesn't get anything if he passes on. But then, as long as he stays alive, he's gonna get 1,007 for life, regardless. So you only have 315K. That's what it means by interest is pulled. The interest from this point forward is no longer yours to keep, basically. Okay, if we take 1,007 based on this example, it takes about 15.5 years. So from here to here, 15.5 years for you to use up this 315K. Because 1 year you use about 2,400. So this divided by 2,400, you get about 15.5 years. Before CPF Board really starts taking from the pool to pay you. Okay, and then actually super interestingly, this is as far as you are concerned. Actually, back-end CPF Board, they do it a bit differently. So back-end, actually what happens is, this thing, your entire RA balance is also pulled. So from the moment you start CPF Life payouts, they will actually pull not just the interest, but also your entire balance. So you see that everybody's RA balance, the entire balance, as long as you're on standard escalating, goes into this big gigantic pool. So everything is inside and it's earning the 4% interest, right? And then every single month, CPF Life is just, CPF Board is just like taking the monthly payouts to pay everyone from this big gigantic pool. So that's quite interesting, and actually this leads to how the basic plan is quite different from the standard and the escalating. Okay, so then how exactly is your basic plan different from your standard and escalating plan? Okay, so first thing to know is this 315K or whatever money in your RA that you started with at age 65 or when you start CPF Life payouts is called your CPF Life premium, your annuity premium. So premium. Okay, so this for standard and escalating plan. Okay, basically how it works is CPF Life is like an insurance. It's an annuity insurance, which is actually just something that pays you like a monthly income. Okay, so then like any insurance plan, you pay a premium, right? So in this case, for the CPF Life insurance, this 315K that you started with inside your RA is that premium. So actually, as long as you're in standard or escalating plan, remember that they will actually pull everything. They will actually move this premium out of your RA. So this entire RA balance is moved up 100% for the standard and the escalating plan. So that's the difference, because for the basic plan, they actually don't move everything out. And then the rule, very important, is as long as they move it out, interest is no longer yours because it's not in your RA anymore. Then if it stays inside, then the interest will be yours to keep. So anything that is moved out of your RA, the interest earned is pulled. Anything that stays inside your RA, interest will be still yours. Your 4% is still yours. So for the basic plan, instead of 100% being moved in as CPF Life premiums, actually only 10 to 20% becomes your CPF Life premium. the remaining 80 to 90% actually stays inside your RA still. So this is still inside your RA. If we use 315, then that will be about 280k. About 280k still stays inside your RA. Meaning on this 280k, the interest is still yours. All the interest earned on this 280k is yours. And then what they do is they will start drawing, or they will start paying you on the basic plan from this first. So this, they will use the money in your RA, remaining the 80 to 90%, to pay you monthly first. Then only at around age 90, when this 280k is drained, then they will start using this to pay you. So this is number 2. Yeah, so actually when it comes to the payout, the basic plan is actually around here. So it's about 1560, I think. One moment, yeah? Yeah, 1560. And generally you can expect a level payout. Oops, level payout. So yeah, it's supposed to be a straight line. So it should be all the way until maybe age 90 when they start paying you using CPF Life. You may or may not experience a decrease in payout. So this one, not sure. It really depends. Yeah, but generally you can see that it will not change 1560 all the way for the basic plan. Okay, then the question is which one? So when we're talking about which plan to choose exactly, most of the time the consideration is just which one is more worthwhile. Under which plan will I get the most payouts? So this one really, for the basic plan, is mostly for people who are willing to compromise a bit of their own payouts. So remember, it was 1560 compared to the standard plan. So compromise a bit of their own in order to leave more for the family. Because really, based on the 80 to 90%, about 280k inside the RA compounding at 4% is really very powerful. 4% over 10, 20 years, it really will add up to a lot. So that's for the basic plan. For the standard plan, it is the most popular it is the default option by CPF Life, CPF Board as well. So for that one, it's the highest and it's the most stable. It will never drop off, it will never decrease, nothing. You expect no kind of unpredictability there. It's just the highest payout all the way. Yep, and then for escalating, mostly for people who say that, okay, number one, I want more stable purchasing power. So it's more of so instead of like the absolute amount of payout, I want something that is gonna give me like stable purchasing power over the years. And I feel that I'm gonna live like a very long life expectancy, because no matter what, after age 88, definitely the total that you're gonna receive from the escalating will be more and exponentially more than the standard plan. Yep, so that's basically how the 3 plans and how interest pooling works. Basically, for the basic plan, it's more of like, I want all my money to be mine. Interest is mine, I want to leave more to my family, and I don't expect to have that long of a life expectancy. Basic plan is a good choice. But then, the standard and the escalating plan is really, the longer you live, the more worthwhile it will be. And then if you believe in pocketing all of the money first, then standard plan. If you believe in beating inflation in the long term, then escalating plan. So that's a good conclusion for this, exactly how you should choose depending on your preference, depending on what you believe in. And also anything that you guys want to hear about, any topics you're interested in, also do drop me a comment.